Sheldon, little bootleg ass studio.
The Carmelo Anthony situation. The Carmelo Anthony situation. He's been charged for murder, first degree. And this story right here got is getting mixed reactions, right? And I seem to think that Carmelo Anthony got a good case on his hands for self-defense and that he possibly may walk. And if he do get some time, he probably won't get that much. But I think that he could possibly walk. And Charleston White, who was very critical of Carmelo Anthony at first. Let me see if I can find what Charleston White had to say initially. Matter of fact, I'm not going to play it because he's on the show and I don't want them to ding my channel for monetization or copyright. So he went on to a show, though. I forget which show it was, but he sat down on national television and he spoke about how basically how guilty Carmelo Anthony is and how wrong he was for bringing a knife to school and yada, yada, yada. And when he first said this, I was like, he got this one wrong. I felt like he got it wrong. And now Charleston White, he's recanting his statements. He said he done spoke. He sat down with Say Cheese. They do interviews all the time. He sat down with Say Cheese, and he said that he spoke with the father. And he's gotten more information, and he's in that area. He lives in that area. And matter of fact, I'm just gonna play some of this. I'm gonna play some of them that Charleston speak on it. Yeah. Let me speed it up.
Metcalf. I'm looking for a X.
Now, y'all check this out, because this is the Charleston White that I think does great in the community. It's the Charleston White that we don't get a lot. You see what I'm saying? And I think he has the right facts on this case, because the media is gonna paint it one way. And if you can remember, I remember one of the early articles, and I'm gonna let this video play in a minute. I remember one of the early video clips or news clips where that was painting the picture as he died in his brother's arms and yada yada. That was just really putting it on and trying to garner your sympathy and all of this type of stuff and ridicule Carmelo for his actions. You see what I'm saying? And they did this so the public can have opinion already about it, and they can publicly shame Carmelo and call him guilty. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, let me let Charles speak.
304. Very perverted, freaky, used to be white woman. Now, how y'all doing? I'm looking for a lady by the name of Sarah J. Fields. I'm looking for she used to be an ex-meth addict. A 304. Very perverted, freaky, used to be white woman. Now she done kind of got a life together, started having children, and she's the precinct chair for the Republican Party. Very racist lady. She's spreading a bunch of lies online. Her and Jeff Metcalf. Now, most people don't know about Jeff Metcalf. Jeff Metcalf is a angry, violent, abusive.
Jeff Metcalf is the father of Austin Metcalf, the guy that Carmelo Anthony had to get up out for him. You see what I'm saying? White boy.
Caucasian man who used to beat Austin's mom. He was very abusive. Jeff wasn't around because he was an abusive father. He used to beat the crap out of Austin's and his twin brother's mom. Divorced him early in life, would get restraining orders against him and move where he couldn't have no contact with mom. She would let him have access to the kids, but mom wanted nothing to do with you, Jeffrey. You're the cause of this, right? Now, my mother always told me, Jeffrey, and Sarah J. Fields, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. The root
check him out
and the fruit is one and the same. Sarah J. Fields. Austin Metcalf, dad, Jeffrey Metcalf. He's not only a bully with anger issues, he beats women. Violent guy. Violent guy. Listen to me now. I want you to hear me good, because this is the truth. I was wrong about Karmelo Anthony. The kid is going to beat the case. I got the facts of the case. I have the facts of the case. I have the police report. I have every document that Sarah J. Fields has. And I've been doing my due diligence. Sarah J. Fields. It's called research. It's called qualitative and quantitative research. Now, I went to Texas Western University, studying as a pre-law student. Studied as a pre-law student. Sarah Jeff Metcalf. So I know a lot about law, and I've beaten the law quite a bit myself. As a matter of fact, I grew up with children who kill people. I myself grew up with people, with children, not people. I grew up with children. I spent my whole entire teenage life with kids who committed murder. 14 to 17, that's a big old gap. When most of you kids was playing video games and going to middle school and doing homework, I was in the boys' home going through therapy and counseling and seeing psychiatrists and psychologists, get my childhood trauma repaired. So I met children who killed their mothers and their fathers. I met children who stabbed people. I met children who so I know children kill. I'm an expert in children who kill. I grew up with them. I was a child who led older children to go kill. I'm going to say it again. The Fort Worth Star Telegram described me as being the smallest of the bunch, but the brains of the bunch. And if I remember correctly, that's quoted by legendary news editor reporter Bob Ray Sanders. I think I'm quoting Bob Ray Sanders correctly. It says Charleston White was the smallest out of the bunch, but he was the brains of the bunch. So I was the youngest, the smallest, and I led 3 big black children who was way older than me.
Chanel Smith says she can't stand Charleston. Bye. Don't go nowhere, sweetheart. Check him out, because he about to drop some gems on the case. He can't speak too much. I guess he got some information that he can't really, reveal too much of, but he about to reveal enough.
To go kill a white man. K-I-L, a white man. I know what it's like.
He's speaking on his case right now.
It's documented. This is documented. I became one of the first children in Tarrant County to be tried, not convicted, but adjudicated for the crime of murder. September 18, 1991, this is in Jeff Metcalf. I even have a relationship with Collin County criminal court system. I used to partner, and I don't know if you know these guys, but I'm sure you know him, Sarah J. and Mr. Metcalf. It's one of the best capital murder and death penalty white defense lawyers. It's from Collin County. A guy by the name of Mitch Nolte. I'm sure the judge and the prosecutor and everybody's familiar with Mitch Nolte. I used to partner with Mitch Nolte, this one of the best attorneys in Texas when it comes to murder cases, capital murder specifically. I used to partner with Mitch Nolte's law firm and the criminal defense mitigation specialist firm called Brendan Ross, mitigation firm. I used to partner with Miss Brendan Ross' daughter-in-law, Shannon Ross. And we used to work on capital murder cases and murder cases. So I've even been sworn in Collin County court system as an expert in what I'm talking to you guys about. And this is documented. This is documented. This is the Charleston you guys don't like. This is the one that's not going to cuss. This is the one that's not reading the comments because I can't see you. I'm looking out into the ocean so I can stay focused on what I'm talking about. So I can't see you with this eye. I can't see you. So if you're typing, I'm looking out into the ocean so I can stay focused and stay connected to what I'm trying to say to you. So this is the Charleston y'all don't want. He ain't funny. He don't play. He ignore the comments. He just get the message out and then he get offline. Then he go by his day. So this is the Charleston y'all got for today. So I got all the facts of the case. So there's a video that's been released by Frisco Independent School District because this is public information. And if you want to see this video, you can go up to Frisco Independent School District and see this video. That's why Sarah J. Fields, Austin Metcalf dad, and now they've drugged the mom in, but they're trying to debunk people from going to see the video. Why do you think Sarah J. Fields, she released an indictment before anybody had the indictment, and she got a woman fired? Because they're using a new Jim Crow systematic tactic where they got the people inside the courts, they got the people inside, and they're working against the Karmelo Anthony family on behalf of Sarah J. Fields because she's a precinct chair and she's threatening to use her power from her precinct chair, I think District 30, to get people unelected and get people elected. They don't go against this case. So she's trying to use political power to influence and persuade this case. That is what Sarah J. Fields has partnered with Austin's family and trying to do. The mom wasn't too much in it. The mom's really been grieving.
I heard what he's saying. He's saying she's being dirty and she's using her position to sway this case and move it the way that she wants it to go. See what I'm saying? Threatening people's position, letting people know, hey, your ass ain't gonna be reelected if you don't do such and such, or if you do such and such, you know what I'm saying, you may get a bump in pay, or you may get, you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Austin, Jeff Metcalf has been playing for the camera because he's been an absent.
This shit goes on in the justice
father
system.
Who abused the mom, and he think he can get back in with mom, and mom doesn't. This case, that is what Sarah J. Fields has partnered with Austin's family and trying to do. The mom wasn't too much in it. The mom's really been grieving. Jeff Metcalf has been playing for the camera because he's been an absent father who abused the mom, and he think he can get back in with mom, and mom doesn't want anything to do with Jeff. That's why you don't see them standing in the camera together like you see the Karmelo Anthony's family doing. So let me stick to the case, to the facts, right? So Sarah has a lady who works for the Collin County Court who just lost her job, who released the indictment before anybody had it. So for whatever reason, Sarah is getting all this information, and she's coming to misconstrue the information, and she's giving out misinformation and false information. Number one, the family has not touched the GoFundMe money. GoFundMe froze the money because the lawyers are trying to get the money. The lawyers are trying to get the money, not the family. It's the lawyers. The first group of people came through with civil rights lawyers trying to play for a civil rights lawsuit as if this was a police shooting. That's why they went with the race card. Biggest mistake they could have made. First mistake I told them they made, playing the race card. Now the white people was waiting for black people to play the race card. Now they're playing the race card in ways that we can't see. It's called racism. It's hidden in the fabrics. It's embedded in the fabrics of the design of America. So
Systematic.
It's not blatant. You can't see it. It's hidden. Like somebody in Collin County courts who has a job to feed their family are releasing private information to a known, not a law enforcement, which is Sarah J. Fields. That's the first mistake that's happened in this case. These are adults that's doing this. These are not. This was a children's problem, a children's issue. The adults have gotten in and made it hateful, ugly, and racist. And this is about right or wrong. It's clearly about right or wrong. It's just about race. The adults that came in and made it about race. You don't hear no children online talking and fighting and going back and forth about this case. It's all hateful-hearted adults. It's not children. It's all hateful-hearted adults online bickering, going back and forth, spewing hate over an issue of children. And none of them was there. All the adults with opinion, none of them was there. So Sarah, let's tell the truth. Jeff, let's tell the truth. You even said in an interview, but you're talking too fucking much online, Jeff. You're talking too much online, Jeffrey Metcalf. And you're partnering with someone who wasn't there. And it's clearly she's a hateful-hearted. And by the way, Sarah, we have your background as well. You said Dominique Alexander's a horrible person, and he is. And you once were too, Sarah. You used to smoke meth. You was a meth addict whore. So don't try to get cleaned up in the Republican Party and hide behind this conservative shield as if you once was a liberal whore, getting high, selling your cunt for meth. So come on, Sarah. Don't play like you're just so high and mighty. Jeff, you're a woman beater. You used to beat your wife. Your kids heard it. They saw it. You had anger issues, Jeff. Guess what? Your two big boys did too. They had very anger issues. And from what's been reported about Austin and his twin brother, they've been kicking ass since elementary. They've been bigger than most children. Not only that, they are trained experts in jiu-jitsu. Why isn't the media reporting this? Now, I know the law, and I've taken the gun classes, I've taken the license to carry classes, I've taken all these classes. And in these classes, with all these white people, and I was the only black guy, and I just want to say, hey, thanks to Sheriff Bill Wayburn, thanks to Tarrant County Sheriff Bill Wayburn, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have my license to carry. My license to carry certificate has my local sheriff's name on it. Might as fact, a Republican politician loaned me the gun to go do my shooting range at the sheriff's class. And this is documented, people. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. Thanks, Sheriff Bill Wayburn. Sheriff taught me how to hold a gun, how to put, but the cat wouldn't let me. Cats are not. I'm a comedian. Nobody could really prove that this was really court paper. I learned a bunch of children. But here we are, we have a black kid that put the fire out of one bullet. The mulatto kid. I'm a full sheep. I'm a full motherfucking sheep amongst these gold. You bring that trauma to school with you, you take it out on the football field, but you have a reputation of bullying people from, I think, about the 4th grade, these Austin twin brothers. So you can't just fight one, you have to fight two. But that's why this is a package deal. So 2 men approach you, bigger in size, you mean to tell me you don't have the right to defend yourself? This is a George Floyd. The autopsy said he has fentanyl in the system. So another lie that they said, he brought the knife to school. He didn't have a knife. He had a Boy Scouts, aid tool. Well, what's on that tool? They have 12 different components. You lift this one up, it may be a bottle opener. You lift this one up, it may be a screwdriver. And they're about this small. They're smaller than 3 inches. It was so small, you don't even see it when they take the picture next to the body because it laid next to the body right by the backpack. Sarah Fields. Oh, they didn't know a nigga can do due diligence works like this. They didn't know a nigga can do due diligence. I went to Texas Western. They taught me how to research. They taught me how to go into the library, full of other articles and things like that, and go get the court pay. I know how to do what you do, Sarah. I just play an ignorant nigga online because it pays much more than what you make. I get $10,000, so I pay a crazy nigga online. Then I come offline and be a great dad. Yeah, my daughter just walked by right there. So my daughter just graduated high school last year. She's waiting to go to college. So while she's waiting to go to college, I put her in Paul Mitchell Beauty School. She just graduated that the other day. That's why she waits to go to college. But listen to me, right? So he didn't have a knife. There was a Boy Scout tool that most white people give their elementary kids. You lift it this way, you lift it this way, about 12 items on there. A knife just so happens to be on there. I think even a fingernail file on there. The knife was so small, it did not penetrate his heart. It was too small. It was a little small knife. They're not telling us this. And they tricked me, and they had me going against a good kid. They really had me going against a good kid, so I'm fucked up about this, my white Republican friends. I'm fucked up. This is what the Democrats did to the poor niggas with the rappers. And come on, y'all are doing to, come on, you're gonna do what the Democrats are doing to the blacks. Just give us the truth. We're smart enough conservative. And by the way, my voting record is all conservative. Mike Wallace, you name it. Mona Bailey, me and Mona Bailey. Shelley Pritchard, Jen Hall, I know all of them. Tarrant County GOP Republican Party, I know all of them. All of them. Sarah, I'm in the loop. I mean, I know about you too. Meth whore. I'm in the loop. So listen to me. They won't tell us that the knife was this small. The kid didn't do what I did. I stood over our victim, which was a white man by the name of Michael Levy. I gave my 16-year-old friend a gun and told him to shoot Michael Levy, and he shot Michael Levy. You know what I did? I got out the car so I can see him shoot Michael Levy, because I always wanted to see what white people look like when they die by the hands of a bunch of black people. Like black people used to die by the hands of a bunch of white people that I used to see on television in the slave movies, all the black movies. So I wanted to see if white people died like black people in the movies, because I had never seen anybody die except on the movie. And I always seen white people standing over black people, white people standing around black people that they hung. So I wanted to see. So as our victim was dying, I went and looked at his eyes and watched what a white man looked like when he died. He's scared too. I seen a fear in his eyes that it still haunts me to today. But it only haunts me when I'm in a good mindset. But when white people make me mad, I always remember what my victim looked like. See, most of y'all don't know what it's like to kill a black person. I know what it feels like to watch a white person die by our hands. I gave the order. Sometimes I'm proud of it, sometimes I'm not. It all depends on how I feel, like you. Sometimes you do right, sometimes you do wrong based on how you feel. We're human, I get it, we're human. I'm human. But let me stick to the facts, because this is not about me. The kid didn't bring a knife to school, the knife was a small. So let me tell you another lie that they told. They said that Austin Metcalf died in the hands of his brother. It's the biggest fucking lie. This guy's a well-trained athlete that excelled in all sports. This big motherfucker just didn't drop dead. He hit him with that knife. He didn't hit him 2 times. He didn't hit him 3 times.
Yeah. So what he's saying is, when he said that I looked over our victim on his situation, when he killed somebody, he said he stood over the victim and he wanted to see them die. That wasn't Karmelo Anthony's intent. You see what I'm saying? He didn't mean to do that. He just wanted to get him up off him.
One time, but this big silverback gorilla is now approaching him, threatening and roaring and giving every. So your instincts, your nature, fight or flight kicks in. Just like the police, when they say they pull a gun, they don't have time to think. I saw a gun, and all it was a cell phone. The police go through it. They're trained people, so we want our kid to be this trained, where these 2 trained mixed martial arts experts who excel in all sports due to their body size, strength, and physical abilities is approaching you, causing harm. You don't know them, never met them. You don't know why they're approaching you. You can't hit them with what you got. It could have been a pencil, it could have been anything. And you drop it, and you take off running. I'm gonna say it again. You drop it, and you take off running. They had me believing he took off running with the weapon. He was caught with the weapon. No, he dropped the weapon. Austin did not fall down. Austin took off running down the flight of stairs, if you watch the video. Then he ran back up. He was panicking. He's on fentanyl. He's on fentanyl like fentanyl Floyd. I'm gonna say it again. He's on fentanyl like fentanyl Floyd. Floyd got somebody leaning on his neck, cutting off his ear, but he also got fentanyl in his system.
So did Austin die of fentanyl? They love to say that George Floyd died of fentanyl overdose because he had fentanyl in his system. So did Austin Metcalf die of fentanyl? See what I'm saying? He had it in his system, apparently. And if he had it in his system, then that's what caused his death. No, it wasn't no stabbing of the utensil or whatever. It was the fentanyl in his system. That's exactly what happened. And that's clear, isn't it?
His organs to function properly, to self-defend and self-recoup himself. Same with Austin. He's on fentanyl. He's on fentanyl, and he does fentanyl regularly and often. So we don't know how bad his organs is. Not only that, he's been using steroids since middle school. Austin's been used, so he got roid rage, fentanyl, trauma from dad's anger issues, beat mom. This kid is an explosive weapon and a threat. So this is fentanyl Austin. We're going with the autopsy report.
Damn.
We're going to be honest, people. So here it is. We can't go with Google. And I told Sarah that. I told Sarah you can't go with Google. Everybody knows when you go to college and you write a research paper, a persuasive paper, or if you write any kind of paper, and you stat and you quote something, you can't say I got it from Google. I did a Google search. It's not credible information. Everybody with educational sense and went to a higher educational school knows that Google is not credible to cite as a source. That's why I went to the library. Didn't you hear me say library database? Where you can pull up credible articles. Somebody report me. Yeah, somebody report me. Yeah, somebody. But back to what I'm saying. So everybody knows Google's not credible. So let me stick to what they try and report it. Sarah's been going against everybody advocating for the Karmelo Anthony family. So she got my Facebook took down. So she's going after everybody. You know how many pages I don't give a damn by losing. So let me finish saying what I'm saying. So he drops the knife. Damn. He takes off running. Austin's brother and the other children take off running, chasing after Karmelo Anthony. Now these are kids who was just at this event, watching him get bullied, but didn't try to step in and stop the bullying. They sat back idle because they're afraid of the Austin brothers. But when he responds, now he's going to chase him with the brother. He takes off running. He's not running with the murder weapon. He runs to an adult. The first adult he sees is a coach. He runs to him for safety. What they're not telling us, and this is in the police report, if they read the police report, one of the first thing Karmelo Anthony asked was he okay? Showing empathy, remorse, immediately. Is he one of the first things? Another thing they're not telling us, this is a good kid who's empathetic, remorseful, emotional intelligent. He had just rescued a kid previously. He had saved a kid's life recently. He hadn't been bullying kids like the Austin twins. Karmelo had been saving kids' lives. The twin brothers have been bullying kids' lives.
But y'all see how they tried to paint him. They tried to paint him as a killer and Austin Metcalf as a victim, when Austin Metcalf doesn't seem to be a victim. Doesn't seem to be a victim at all. How can you be a victim when you accost someone and they defend themselves? You are not a victim. It doesn't happen that way. That's not how it works.
David and Goliath. Two Davids. Two Goliaths, I mean. Two big giants against one David. They didn't come one. They came two against one. Already an initial threat. So he drops the knife. He runs to an adult, according to the police report, which was a coach. And I just want to tell everybody, because this is, and Sarah's not going to tell y'all this. All the white parents are making their children silent. Why do you think no children online is speaking on this? It's all white adults. They have silenced their children because they don't want people to know that these two twin brothers have been terror. They have been white terror, kind of like Buford was in Back to the Future. In every movie we have ever watched, at every school, there's always a white bully, a class of bullies who picks on. So let's not act like this is not it. When you know the history of the Metcalf twins, when you know the history of the Metcalf twins, you know these are two big white guys who have a body size that's bigger than children their normal age and in their class. So they're both big guys. They come from an abusive household with an angry dad. That's why the dad is trying to provoke the Anthony's family to do something. He's walking around with his glasses on and his gun. His mom doesn't want anything to do with Jeffrey's violent behavior, and it transcended to the children because the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, and the roots and the fruit are one and the same. They're violent children, like these niggas with these guns. And they got guns. Not only that, they're trained jiu-jitsu experts. I'm gonna say it again. They're trained jiu-jitsu experts according to documentation and what comes out of the father's mouth. So you better not fight these guys. And these guys are so violent and angry, he broke his dad's arm. Tupac have a song that says "White Man's World," and there's a part in his song when Tupac is explaining the mindset of a child that says, "Mama, why they keep calling me nigga? I'm gonna get my weight up with my hate and pay them back when I'm bigger." Well, if you don't never get big, you can't never pay them back. Austin got big, and he got a chance to pay his dad back. You remember what he did to you, Jeffrey? He broke your fucking shoulder. Not only did he break your shoulder, he ripped your ligaments. That's how you can go before the world and let them know he's good at it. Imagine what he would do to a little guy who rib show like me and Karmelo. He would have ripped him apart, torn to shreds in front of those other girls that he can't fuck. The white girls starting to like this guy. And you know what all this started from, right?
Check this out right here. This is how it all started, according to Charleston White.
They all went swimming one time at a party somewhere, at a house party. Karmelo Anthony jumped in the pool. He gets out of the pool. He got a big print. And the girls in the school start talking about he has a big print. Words gets out of school. New black guy from wherever he comes from, kind of handsome, braces, lives out here with us, has a big print. Word gets out. I swear to God, that's what this is about.
I wonder how he got this information, though.
Honest to God truth. Honest to God truth. They all in a pool party. He don't know the guys. He know the baboon. The baboon is a mixed kid. He connect with the new black kid, but he's cool with the white boys. They smoke weed, they do fentanyl, they pop pills, they do ecstasy. So these are party kids. Karmelo's not a party kid. That's why he died with fentanyl in the system at a track event. They're not asking, why did he connect to school? Because he got kids walking around the school on fentanyl, fuckers. Athletes. High-powered athletes on at school with kids. I need something to defend myself if he gets angry. Come on, people. Come on. Let me stick him. Okay. So he rescues a kid a year later. Soon as he gets to an adult and get the situation, first thing he showed is compassion, concern, and empathy for the assailant, because he's not a victim. Austin is not a victim. He's an assailant. His brother should be charged with his death as well.
Boom. I've been saying this from the jump. Because this case could go either way. And if it is proven that Karmelo Anthony was accosted and that self-defense was that he used self-defense in his own right, like he was within his rights to defend himself, then shouldn't his brother get charged for his brother's death? Because that's what happens. That's what happens when you let me let him finish.
Because anytime you commit a crime and someone dies in the commission of a crime, the brother should be charged because they was going committing the crime. No matter how small the crime is, They went to go commit a crime against a black kid, and his brother died. The brother should be charged with something, Sarah. So check it out. So he gets arrested.
I've been saying this.
Every adult in this situation, before this kid was ever even booked in jail, from the police to everybody, had tears in their eyes. They were crying. They were crying because they know this is a good kid. He didn't mean to kill nobody. Man, this is not negligent homicide. Man, this is self-defense. But because we're in an all-white county, and everybody in Tarrant County, Dallas, everybody knows you go to Collin County, niggas white people. I've worked out there. But the judge on the case is a fair judge. They thought they was giving a judge. They thought they was giving a case to a, no. I'm honored to see the judge on the case, a fair man. And Collin County has enough black people who are registered voters who have driving licenses that they can pick from the jury pool. So we don't want to leave it there. We want to keep it in Collin County. Even though there are people trying to bully, they can't bully this judge and they can't bully the law. You can't beat the white man with racism. You can't beat the white man with capitalism. You have to beat the white man with his law. You can't beat him no other kind of way. That's what made Johnny Cochran so bad. That's why black people have to go to the United Nations, because they ain't figured out a way to beat the white man with his law for the human rights. But Washington, D.C. don't give black people human rights. The world do. That's neither here nor there. We'll talk later. But this is a good kid that I'm advocating for. I have the facts of the case. They have the video out, so that's why they're not promoting the video. That's why they're not telling you that this kid was very empathetic and not sympathetic, empathetic and remorseful. Is he okay? I never asked if my victim was okay. I watched him die. So you got people like Sarah Fields she just got a woman fired who worked for the Collin County criminal courts who was releasing all the paperwork and information. So there's an indictment that was released. Sarah J. Fields had the indictment before the police did. So we have a paper where Sarah released the indictment a day before it was released. Then she released it earlier that day. And then went back and bought it later that day. Sarah, you know, the digital stamp showed your hand. That's why the woman got in trouble. Not only that, the people from the criminal court is releasing all the information of Sarah Field because she's claiming she's a bully. She's a precinct chair. She can get you unelected with her voice. Okay, she got a platform to do that. Right is right, wrong is wrong. That's why I don't believe in karma, because white people do so wrong, and I never see white people get karma for nothing. Slavery, nothing. I never see white people get karma, so I don't believe in karma. Because when I look at white people, they never get karma, especially white people like Sarah, Jeff Metcalf. Maybe Austin is your karma for raising him in such a violent household, beating his mama, and he come outside and beat other children with those expert skills you trained him to have, so he can be dominant over other people, is what they say is. You want him to be dominant over other people. That's why you always brag about his physical abilities, not his academic talents. Fucker. But hear me out. So Sarah and them is getting all this information from the courts. This is the new Jim Crow, guys. This is the new Jim Crow. So I would advise any and everybody to go read the book, The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. It highlights and talks about these things. Dr. King got them to take the signs down, but he didn't get them to change their hearts and their minds. They just took the signs down, took the robes off, and renamed their positions. Precinct chairs rather than Ku Klux Klan leaders. I'm sorry. So check this out. So kid gets arrested. They know he didn't commit murder, but they cannot put a white judge to lower this kid's bond, so they sacrificed a black lady. Oh, this gets deep, people. This gets really deep. They sacrificed a good black woman who has integrity and dignity and criminal standards. They sacrificed her. They knew she would do the right thing. She was going to lower the bond. They couldn't let a white person take this hit. So they put the black woman out there, and now the white people, Sarah Fields and all the white people, have put their hoods on by way of metaverse. They got their Ku Klux Klan hoods on in metaverse, and they're releasing the judge's information. Now, this judge has a daughter. They're releasing Karmelo's Anthony's family. So all these white people who own guns, who are second right amendments, who vote for Trump, are now threatening this black family who has a daughter, another daughter, and this other black judge who's a legal law-abiding judge who they voted this one. Now they're threatening her. They're threatening her life. So ironically, on the same day, the judge had to move to a new location. She now has to have 24-hour security. The Karmelo Anthony family have moved at least 4 times. So as they're moving, Sarah is putting out false information saying they're buying new houses. No, Sarah, they're running from your threats and Jeff showing up at this man's job. So now this man can't even work in Texas because they keep showing up at the job. He's a car salesman. So Jeff and everybody keep showing. So the man, they put, man, come on now. If it were me, I would unalive one of y'all showing up at my job. I would show up at Jeff's ex-wife house and unalive her. I would cause pain, unbearable pain, if you done me like that. Yeah, you done me like that. Yeah. I unalive a white baby. If white people mess with me like they're doing Karmelo, I would go to a daycare and I would unalive the daycare. All white though. Innocent. I would do what Dylan Roof did. I would find that Frisco church. If white people did me like that, I would throw my life into the river. But I would do it like Dylan Roof did. Yeah, I would do it like Dylan Roof did, but to white people. I know what it feels like to stand over a white man and watch him die. That's something nobody could ever take away from me. You don't know what it feels like. I do. And white people make me mad. You know, one time the police made me mad, and this will make the Republicans stop fucking with me. One of my good friend's son by the name of Dacian Step. So I had an ideology. Doctors, they're trying to become the doctor, playing like the doctor on abilities. known steroid use and high on fentanyl. How can you fight him as small as Karmelo Anthony is? That's why I can still buy my motherfucking guns. Report, I'm way smarter than you. But they lying on this kid. He's completely innocent. He killed a weapon. He didn't kill a kid. He killed a machine that was big in stature, body size, strength, physical abilities, known steroid use, and high on fentanyl. How can you fight him as small as Karmelo Anthony is? And there are things that I can't speak about, but when it come out in court, I bet my life this kid get off. I put my life he get off. How confident I am in the facts and the truth. Sarah, you can't beat the truth with lies and deceit, because the Bible y'all gave to the slaves. The Bible y'all gave to the slaves says, God says, in spirit and in truth. You can't be deceitful and be in the spirit of God. You can't tell lies and stand on the truth. That's why I don't lose. Because when I'm wrong, I come say, man, I'm wrong with the motherfucker. I'm wrong. I don't ever want to be like white people, knowing I'm.
All right, man. Well, I mean, Charleston White had a whole lot to say about that, you know, and then with the whole pool situation with Karmelo getting out the pool and his print showing and they getting jealous because the girls is talking about him, you know, yeah, man, that's pretty much how that's how they are. They jealous when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? Just think back when they were lynching black men. What would they do? They would chop off his genitals. You know what I'm saying? They would even bid on those genitals. People would buy those. See what I'm saying? Keep them as keepsakes and such, or eat them. Some people would eat them. You know, barbecue. Literally, they would barbecue black men hanging from trees. Yes. And that was jealous. That was really jealous of a well-endowed black man. You know what I'm saying? You yeah. Anyway, what you think about that? Let me know how you feel about Charleston White speaking on the Karmelo Anthony situation.